Okay.
Yeah, man. So current situation: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. I mean, all the major players are down, man. What's going on with that?
Uh, well, yeah, they're saying it's a server error. They're saying that. There was a thing on 60 Minutes last night, a whistleblower last night about some things Facebook got going on Instagram, but neither here nor there. They're down today or down this morning. And here's the thing: if you put all your eggs in their basket, then you're
Oh
down
yeah.
today too. Your business is struggling. You got all these people saying, well, you make your money, you need to do Facebook ads. To market your business, you need to do Facebook ads. You need to do Instagram. You
How's
know,
it working for you today?
yeah. I mean, how many leads do you generate? That's it.
But this is one of them common things. And then number two, because a lot of folks under these misconceptions, these type of companies, they so reliable and this type of stuff, and you ain't never gotta, worry about this. A lot of folks woke up this morning, had some big campaigns to run that now they start to rethink, all right, what can I do? And then
Yeah.
even when you start to look at stuff like LinkedIn and a lot of other programs, it ain't just, Facebook and their whole network is down, but we really actually starting to see some spillover on a lot of other sites and stuff that we normally operate with. And our analytics, I mean, everything is crashing on us. We can't get our data that we need. So, I mean, this is a huge problem for business owners. But back to your point, you know, we can't shut our business down just because Facebook is shut down for a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen it last month. Microsoft servers were going down. So, here's what I'm saying. If you are running your business and you're relying on another company's well-being for your business to grow, so your business to be in business, then you're not running your business, they're running your business.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
can control how well your business does. I mean, think
And
about this.
actually,
Remember back in the days when people said that they need to be digital. I got this brick and mortar, and I've been
oh, yeah.
doing business for 20 something years. I don't need a website. I don't need to be
Oh, yeah.
online. This, that, and the third. What happened 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago with the pandemic, when everybody was on lockdown? What happened?
Oh,
If
yeah.
you didn't have a digital business, you really couldn't operate.
And
Because
another big thing about that though, not having that online component and not being able to weather storms like this or have other contingency plans to go off of when my main source of marketing or my main source of advertising is down and this type of thing. What do I do? And I think that's one of the biggest things that we've been talking about. Matter of fact, in the Rockstar Masterminds and things that we've been doing is that omni-channel approach. I'm not worried about this one because I got 5, 6 other outlets that I'm sharing my message with and getting my story out to my customers that I can help them.
exactly, just like in finance, they say you should have multiple streams of income. I mean, you should have
Oh yeah,
multiple streams of marketing. You just
I
can't
like
rely
that.
on.
We got to do that. Multiple streams of
Yeah,
marketing. That's a whole nother mastermind altogether.
exactly. Hey, let's put it on, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
let's just put it on. They in this Rockstar Mastermind that we got coming up, we're gonna talk about how to brand. We're gonna talk about how to market with social. And that's just one aspect. Social is just one
Oh yeah.
aspect. There's so many other ways you could be out there getting your business in front of people.
But on the other hand though, it nowadays it's almost that setup process. You know how when you first start your business, you got to go get your business license. You need to get your EIN. You got to get your bank accounts. But when you start setting up their marketing, now you got to really start thinking, all right, what's my channels? What's gonna be my platform? So you got to be setting up them socials. You got to make sure you got their website. You got to make sure you got their email and their text marketing and everything else in this day and age.
Yeah, and like you said, when you do it when you first start it up, you set it up and you control your audience. That's another thing that a lot of businesses don't do. Like for instance, I was on Clubhouse today, and they were like, "Everybody log in and download all your contacts." The servers are down. You're not downloading anything. Your contacts are gone until they come back up. And then what
And
happens when something like remember when
but no,
LinkedIn started locking down when
that's
you
the
couldn't
scary thing
download your
though.
contacts?
That is the scariest thing though. Think about it for a business. If you had been tracking your data, if you had been downloading these reports and then you had been really, getting this information out of these different systems like Instagram and Facebook, and you've been generating all these leads, spending all these ads, and now they down. And it's like, okay, I can't connect to no data. I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing big bills go to my bank account. What do I do? It's a lot of folks like I got some calls this morning, some folks panicking about, hey, we just got a bill from Facebook. We can't even look and verify what it's for,
Yep. And think about the flip side. So Facebook's down, but you've got your contacts in your email list. You send out an email letting everybody know, hey, Facebook might be down, but you can still do business with us in this way. Or you send out a text message to everybody, hey, just wanted to let you know Facebook's down, but we still are up and in business. You can shop with us here. You can do that if you had your own. Yeah. I mean, you could do that if you control your audience. You control your leads. But if you rely solely on those platforms and you figure, well, I was going to send out a post, or I was going to send out an ad, or I was going to send out a DM, you're done. Not today. You're done today. You know what I'm saying? Now, will they be up tomorrow? Who knows?
And that's matter of fact, I'm actually getting some text questions coming in right now. Someone is saying for people that are advertising that might be losing leads, is Facebook responsible? Is Instagram responsible if they do lose any potential business today? That's a hard one. No, I don't think they're responsible. No, we're not lawyers, but they're not responsible if their servers go down, if their product is not necessarily up to par. But I bet it is definitely making some folks suffer today, especially with it being this close. Well, we at October. You got Black Friday coming up. Then the next step after Black Friday is Christmas, and every retailer I know is already ramping up, running ads and everything else to start getting those Black Friday deals. I'm thinking, hell, Black Friday starting to turn into White Thursday and Purple Wednesday and Tuesday. Everybody trying to, line up and get in there so quick.
You're right. And here's the thing. Even if they are liable, like you say, we're not attorneys, they're not going to be just easy for you to get your reimbursement. You're going to jump through some hoops. You're going to have to end up getting some attorneys involved. Next thing you know, it's going to be long, drawn out for months. It's not going to be, oh, sorry about that. Let us all give you all this money, that we potentially could have lost you. That's going to be a hard one to get. It's going to be hard to get it. And trust me, they've got a lot of clauses in there that protect them from that. So,
but there's a great opportunity in this for a lot of folks this morning. Like a lot of folks should have been, and especially you agency owners, but everybody, this is a great opportunity to email your whole database and say, hey, we see Facebook is down. We see Instagram is down. Don't worry, we're still here to support you, like you just said. And we got these great deals going on right now. So please don't miss out,
Yeah. And the great thing about that is your competitors can't hit your audience because they can't hit them on social right now. So it's just you right now. Yeah, it's just you.
But really, it's starting to, like, days like this, it kind of feels like the old school days. And I know a lot of folks don't even know what that means no more because everybody was just born with social media and this type of stuff. But you remember them old school days of marketing before we had social media and all these other platforms to grab attention on. We were sending out emails. We was just picking up the phone and cold calling folks and just all kind of stuff, man.
That's
true. It's amazing people don't use this stuff anymore like that. Like, cold calling actually still works. Like, really. It seriously still works. It is very effective. A lot of times more effective than a lot of them posts that y'all putting on social media. Just pick up the phone and say, hey, you might need my service. Can I talk to you for a second?
That's a great point. It is. It does still work. It's something that even now we try to automate, of course, with those auto dollars that everybody hate, but it does work. It's just about putting together a good plan, man. Putting together a good strategy and having everything laid out.
But I think it almost harks back to everything that we say in these masterminds. It's knowing your business model, knowing how you get your customers. Because I bet it's some oil change folks that ain't hurting this morning.
Yeah,
It's some fast food folks that ain't hurting this morning. So they ain't relying on Facebook and these other type places to get their business. I know some folks that send somebody out there on the street with a sign to get the flip and say, "Come on in here, get this oil change." You know.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, and there's some people that have built relationships too that are still getting referral business that has nothing to do with social, nothing to do with ads, nothing to do with a digital presence. They just have built great relationships that are sending them business on a consistent basis. And that
Oh
that
yeah.
that's that takes time, but it's also takes intentional strategy. It's not just everybody just heard of you, know of you, and think you're the best. You strategically have partners out there that send you business, and that's important. But that's all about planning it. You gotta be very intentional with that.
Oh yeah. But see, that's the reason why I strategy. Like I know Grant Cardone likes the 10x everything type
Hmm.
model, but we're not about 10x and everything. We want to find out what's working. Let's 10x that. Let's look at what's the customer pipeline right now. How are they coming to you
Yeah,
now? How are they finding you now? And how are they
yeah,
buying from you now? And how can we 10x that versus, hey, let's just do everything that we do 10 times and just exhaust the hell out of ourselves and burn
well,
out by next week.
that's his brand. That's a branding thing. That's just 10x more is a brand that it is really a
I like
concept.
Grant. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that 10x sounds great. I mean, that was a great, great, great slogan. So yeah, yeah.
No, Grant.
But
I
even
actually
with
like Grant Cardone,
yeah,
but
even with Grant
he's
right
a
now,
salesperson, huh?
yeah, yeah, even with him right now, they've switched their model at the moment
Oh yeah.
because they do a lot of Facebook ads. But I'm sure what he's doing, he's taking the money he would have been putting into Facebook right now and Instagram right now, and he's repositioning it into one of his other channels. I mean,
He's
he's
got that.
not
He's
shut
got that
down.
reality show. He's got the reality show that he's going around showing folks that hey, you can build a business with no money. Right now, and I think that's been pretty successful for him. And it really lands to the point. Stop listening to everybody because you know how every so often somebody come out and well TV dying and print dying and radio dying and everything always damn dying, but folks keep on using it, keep on working. So stop
Yeah,
listening to everybody that don't know nothing about your business.
exactly. Because that's all that matters. What works for you? You know It's so funny. You look at some people and you're like, that can never work, but 20 years later they still there, and you're like, but that can work. Well, it's been working for 20 years, so obviously it's working. Whatever they're doing, it's working.
I'm trying to
So
say,
figure out what works for you, because you can listen to all these other trends, but like they said in the gold rush of '49, it was the ones that sold the picks and the shovels that made all the money. you know. So you can listen to everybody else tell you all these techniques of how you can make all this money and how your business can grow. But it's the ones selling the courses and the mentorships is making all the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to
oh
be
yeah,
honest, if you don't know your
no, no,
business, there's no silver bullets. You need to know your business and know your audience, and that's the real secret to your success.
now one thing, we are moving into the fourth quarter of the year. You know,
Hmm.
now it's crunch time for a lot of folks. Some folks is enjoying, what they've done, at the beginning of the year and this type of stuff. Some folks trying to hold it together. Some folks trying to move, to the next side. What's one of the biggest things, or what one of the things that right now, as you start moving to this fourth quarter, what's that main thing that you need to be thinking about? Right now in October, as we starting to another one of these crazy years is starting to come to a close.
I would say two things. One, now is the best time to get your pipeline for next year, because
Oh yeah.
everybody's looking to buy and everybody's looking for sales and everybody's looking for freebies and everybody's looking for something. So now's the best time to fill up your mailing list, your prospect list, your pipeline. Now's the time to do that. and prepare for next year. And then also, you'll make a little money in the process because people right now are spending. And it depends on your business and your business model of what that looks like. Are you dealing business consumer where they're trying to buy a product? Are you business to business? Are you business to corporate business to where they have use or lose money at the end of the year and they're trying to offload? It just depends on your business model. Like I said, this isn't about selling you the pick or the shovel. So, your business model will dictate what you should do next. But I would say in any business, now is a great time to start basically filling your pipeline, getting all the people that are looking for the offloading of their end of the year money, whether that's consumer or business, get their information so you can market to them next year. You'll make next year a lot easier. And then the second thing is now's the time to start reflecting and remodifying. So what I mean by that is you got the next 3 months to end your year off. Start looking at your first 3 quarters of what worked, what didn't work. Start using that time to document. You're going to have a little bit of downtime over the holidays. Start doing some brainstorming with your team, brainstorming with your coaches and consultants, your agencies, and start saying, this year this worked. Next year, this is what we're going to do to modify. I would say that's my two biggest tips for these next 3 months.
No, I definitely get you, because this time of year, I tell folks, now you need to be reevaluating. First of all, is this business worth taking into the next year? Did we do so well? Was this really a business the whole time in the first place? Because a lot of folks start to reevaluate and find out, hey, entrepreneurship might not be for me, or this business might not be the right one. And all of us, gonna fail our way to success either way. And then the other thing, like you say, it's time to really start thinking about, all right, this year's done, bro. Unless you're in retail sales, for the most part, your Super Bowl over with. Because everybody now, we're fixing to look at retail, we're fixing to look at restaurants. And then outside of that, I mean, most of us in this professional world, we already know December when you're working. It's all planning at that point.
Yeah, and even with retail, if you haven't started, and this is a hard conversation sometimes when I deal with retailers. If you haven't started your Black Friday promotions in July, it's too late.
You behind.
It's too late. You don't start it now in October. You don't start it in October for November and December. Yeah, you should have already had your ads created. You should have already had your campaign created. You should have already had all of your imaging created. All that stuff should have been already created and pretty much put on autopilot. And now these months, they're just running. And now you're doing modification and engagement with people that are engaging with what you already put out. But if you're trying to build it right now, you're already behind the game.
And then let me tell you another thing. You're going to pay twice as much for it at this point, because they've already bid it up. Like, you got retailers that was in, like you say, was in way back in the summertime. So they're already getting the best rates and this type of thing. So now you got to come in and bid on top of them. And you're going to have to outbid folks that's done been in here. So, and then one of the biggest things, social media now, they've seen their value. We've seen this thing triple and double over the past, 3-4 years alone since they started the whole advertising platform. You've seen it. At first, it came up, it started to inch up a little bit. Now you're seeing it double, and now you're starting to see ad rates almost comparable with TV,
Oh, yeah.
And then these small budgets, too. That's another thing that we can't tell folks enough. $100 ain't gonna get it no more. $20 ain't gonna get it no more. $5 ain't doing nothing. I mean, really, this whole booster post, $5 here, $10 there. If you don't have a consistent about $500 to $1,000 to put out here every single month, consistently over at least 90 days, then don't waste your time. Because all you're gonna do is help donate to Facebook, because you ain't gonna get nothing back.
Hey, think about this though.
At this point.
Just to piggyback on what you say, you know how they give you those coupons for $150 coupons? Facebook does it, Google does it. Why do they give you $100 or $200, $150? They know it's not going to do anything. They know it's not going to do anything. That's the reason they give it to you. They're like, we'll give you $100 because we know that's going to just blow. You know,
Mm.
to be honest, from what I've seen, if you're not spending $1,000, you're giving away money. If you
Yep.
really want to make an impact, you got to spend at least $5,000. $5,000, anything under $5,000, I really haven't seen any big impact. Now you might break even, you might almost break even, but like for those that are talking about, I've been making, you know, big success. The ones you see flashing the money and flashing the
They're using a
those,
lot
they're
of money
spending
to do it.
$5,000 or more a month. They're
Oh
not
yeah.
spending a couple $1,000s. They're spending about 5,000 or more a month to
Oh
make
yeah.
the kind of income. It's like you know, Kev, you're the man in sales. It's a numbers game. You
Oh yeah.
know,
Oh
you're
yeah.
not getting in front of enough people. So,
It's
you
so
know,
funny. It's so funny. You have all these little ad agencies, or I ain't gonna say little. I don't want to be disrespectful, but you have all these ad agencies. They pop out and then they want to tell you, we so great and we so effective and all this type of stuff, and we can make you super targeted and all our ads, they always convert. But then they turn around and tell you they need about a good $5,000 a month budget. Well, hell, for $5,000 a month, I can make anything pop.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's really a lot of times, like you say, you're not putting enough money out there behind those ads and behind what you're doing to actually get exposed to enough folks to really find your customer base in the first place.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and you hear it, they tell you, but you don't really listen to what they're saying when a lot of these agencies say, well, we work with X millions of dollars in ad budget. Well, what does that mean? And I don't want to blow agencies out. I love agencies. We've all worked in agencies, but that means you had a client that was willing to pay that money. That wasn't your money. That was your client's money.
Exactly.
And the success was your client's
Exactly.
success. And if your client spends enough money, think about it. If I was to go out and talk to 50 million people, I can get some people to say yes. I don't care if I'm selling air.
Easily.
You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
a
I could
numbers
be
thing.
selling air. It's a numbers game. If you're spending enough money, you can get people to make a return. But the thing is, people say, "Oh, I don't know why they equate. They work with X amount of budget with revenue. They didn't say they made that amount of money. They say they
But see,
had ad budgets of that amount of ad budgets. That just means their client was big enough to spend that kind of money. Didn't mean that they
exactly.
took them. See, this is the funny thing. Uh, They think that this person took this person from nothing, built them up to that amount of money to spend an ad budget. No, they found a client that
No, they
already
can't
had
see
that amount of
that ad
money.
budget that high.
Exactly. I mean, I remember when I was with companies like Saks, Fifth Ave, and E Trade, and all that. They had big budgets. They had big budgets. I
But
mean, they.
this day and age,
Mhm.
there are so many different options now for advertising, for exposure. And once again, we can't say this enough. It really, really just gets back to the point of knowing your customer and
Yeah,
knowing them well enough to know I know where they are, I know what they listen to, I know what they watch on TV. So no matter how I want to get this message to them, I can always find them. Because
yeah,
Comcast now has these same these regional commercial packages, same type of targeting that you can get with Facebook and Google, iHeartRadio now, Hulu, and
yeah,
this gives you that ability to have that, I'm marketing on TV type look when you start dealing with, channels like Hulu and things like that, because now you can still have that, big time exposure around those premiere shows that you normally would pay so much for going to a traditional Comcast or someone like that to put it on TV.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, if you were saying, your audience, you know where they go, you get in front of them. Now you can do business with them.
No
I
matter
mean,
what medium you use.
yeah, it's that simple. It really is that simple. What's the saying? Is it's that it's easy but not simple, or simple but not easy? But either way you go, it's that simple. But I'm not saying it's like a 1, 2, 3 magic, but that's the formula. Know your
It's like we tell
audience.
folks all the time. It's like I tell folks all the time when they come in and they want to sit down and we start coaching. Look, I'm not trying to teach you how to be a marketing professional. That's my job. I just need you to know how to market your business. I need you to know how to talk about your business, not how to talk about every last one of them and be a wordsmith and sales expert and all this other type of stuff. But I need to know how to sell your products. So the more that you become an expert at you and what you are doing, all this other type of stuff becomes kind of irrelevant because,
Yeah.
yeah, Facebook might be down today, but guess what? I don't get my customers from Facebook anyway. So I already know Facebook can be down, Instagram can be down, and all the rest of y'all can go down as much as y'all want to. But over here, we still gonna be making money. So
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, it hadn't affected us at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, it's like, okay, couple here, couple there, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh well, they'll probably be back up, but if they do never come back up again,
we still good.
yeah.
But and I think that's really why the whole rockstar thing is resonating with so many people is because they tired of the BS. They tired of folks telling them, look, you got to do this, this, and this to be successful, and then they go do this, this, and this, and they still failing. You know what I'm saying? And then they come to somebody like us, and we say, well, hold on. Instead of doing 60 videos a day and pushing this across every platform that you got, and worry about what you're gonna post every 5 seconds, and all this other type of stuff, what is your business? What do you do? How do you get customers now? How did they find out about you in the first place? Okay.
Kev, that's the thing that always is funny to me, because you ask that question and it's sort of like you've asked, like, what's the meaning of life? You're like, so what's your business? Who's your audience? And how do you currently get customers? And it's like, it's like you should know that. I mean, that's really it. If you can replicate how you're already getting business, you don't need to do all these shiny new toys. Now, can these shiny toys help? Yeah.
Oh yeah. But these shiny toys are not here to replace. They are here to aid. They are here to increase, not to replace your main source of what you're doing. If you've been marketing by the newspaper your entire life and it's been keeping your business full, you mean tell me just because some fool told you about Facebook, you're going to stop messing with the newspaper? Now you're just going to put everything on Facebook and just wait for it to work? Come on now.
Let's put it like this. It's all about getting to a destination, right? Okay. So you're at home. You need to get to work, right? So work is in walking distance. Okay, cool. So you can walk to work. That's cool. But then you're like, well, I don't want to walk to work. I want a car. So you get a car. Okay. You're still getting from point A to point B. But then you're like, well, there's Uber and Lyft. That's the new hype. I'll take an Uber and Lyft. I'll pay them to drive me to work. But you're still getting from point A to point B. Now, what's the difference? The difference is you got a car, now you got a car note. You got Uber and Lyft, now you got to pay that fee. But if you walk, you're still getting from point A to point B. Same thing. You're saving money walking. Is it more convenient to have a car or take Uber or Lyft? Maybe, yeah. But at the same sense, at the end of the day, you're still getting from point A to point B. So if you know how to get to point A to point B, replicate that. Replicate that until you can't replicate it anymore. And then you can trial the things. And if other things work and make your life easier, your business more successful and profitable, then add that to the mix.
Now, right before we close this out, we got one more question. And it's coming from Miss Kimberly Gates. And she is asking, can we please explain ROI when it comes to advertising? What is meant by the return on investment? And this is a great question, honestly, because this is something I've been trying to get folks to see and get folks to really, really start thinking in terms of the numbers, what you're spending, what a customer costs, what a customer is worth, especially that lifetime value of that customer. Because a lot of folks don't think in terms of lifetime value. They just think about this initial purchase. So, to answer that question, to Kim's point, when we start talking about return on investment on an ad, what we're talking about is if I'm spending 100, what am I actually getting in that? But there's a lot of other things that we got to understand first before we start to actually calculate that ROI. Jeff, what's some of those things that you actually add into that mix when you start to look at, all right, what's going to really be the return on investment for this client?
Yeah. So some of the things I look at is not just the ad budget. So people will look at the, click-through rate, conversion rate. I look at even more than that, because you also have operation costs. You have
Okay.
employees, you have software, you have, different operation costs that tie into that. So
Okay.
all of that, how much does that cost you? And then from that, how much are you getting in return? How many sales are you making? And if you take off how much expense you have, what's your profit? And that's your return on investment. But to Kevin's point, a lot of people stop there. You want a lifetime value of that customer. That customer
Oh, yeah.
might come back to you 2, 3, 4 times a year. So now, if they gave you $10 and they came back 4 times, then that's $40, right? So the lifetime value is more $40 than 10. So you
And
want to look at, oh, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. But no, just to stop you right there, the beautiful thing about that too, a lot of times what ends up happening when you start really looking at it, that LTV versus what this purchase right now is going to be, like with McDonald's, for instance, you selling $8 hamburgers or $8 combos. So that one-time purchase might not be that motivating to try to make sure that that person has a great experience and make sure we capture this customer. You probably be like, I don't care if they come or not. But if you really think about the lifetime value of that $8 person at McDonald's, how many times in that whole 365 days a year is this person going to go to McDonald's? Most
No,
people, you're going to hit it at least a couple times a month. Okay.
no, even more than that. How many times in a
Exactly.
lifetime?
I'm trying my best not to go at all.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, how many times in a lifetime
Oh yeah.
will that
But
person come back?
and that's
Because
what
think
I'm saying.
about it. A lot of people go to McDonald's because as a child they were taking to McDonald's and they never
Oh yeah.
broke the habit. So as an adult, they go to McDonald's. So
There you
yeah,
go.
in a lifetime, that child's kids meal, now over the lifespan of that person, they've probably been to McDonald's a few thousand times.
Ain't no telling. Over a
Yeah.
billion, sir. I'm just saying.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
sure a lot of that was repeat business.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I know I used to go to McDonald's every day. Used to.
But see, that's what we have to start doing as business owners. These numbers should always be in your forefront, right there at the top of your head. So when we say, all right, look, this is what this person can potentially shop with me over a year's period of time. That's 365 days. So I typically make a sale with this person, or they get my initial product here. They're going to need, or they're going to want something else around this period of time here. But see, when you start thinking about this and you start thinking forward on this person, then now you start to think about their marketing. All right, how do I capture those other dollars in this transaction? Because it's not just this $10 razor or this $10 shampoo. It's also going to be the $10 shampoo when they come back and buy it again, the $10 shampoo when they buy it again. Then when I start to spread out my product line, all right, now you might not just want the regular kind. You might want the coconut shampoo and the apple shampoo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I
now
mean,
let me give it to you like this. So when a person, and a lot of car dealers don't use this, but this is the model really of lifetime value. When a person buys a vehicle, that's a
okay.
one-time purchase that they buy, but then they sell you on upgrades. So that's a little bit more. And then they sell you on services, service
Yeah.
packages and stuff, warranties and stuff. So that's another fee. And then they know, a smart dealer knows his customer gets the itch to buy another car in 2 years. They might
Yep.
not buy the car in 2 years, but they get the itch to get something else in 2 years.
They're going to
And
typically change
usually
out
within
after
the 2 to 5 year range, they're going to buy something else. So within 2 to 5 years, they're going to make another car purchase. Now, here's where a lot of companies and car dealers fail. They don't nurture. They just only give out commercials during the big holidays and so forth, but they don't nurture their customers. Now, why do
Yep.
companies like BMW and Mercedes-Benz do so well? with the high-end cars. Well, they invite you out to events. Oh yeah, I should show you my BMW and my Benz keys. But here's the thing: they invite you out to events.
Yep.
They then send you notifications of the new vehicles coming out, but you are invited to the actual unveiling, which is a party with a band and everything, and wine and cheese. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And then they give you phone calls every now and again. And then they do all these things to make it to where when you get that itch at the 2-year mark, you come back out to their dealership. When you're ready to go ahead and make that purchase, you come back to their dealership versus I now have the itch and I'm on Google and I see a bunch of ads. Who do I go to now? Because now I've built a relationship and a sense of loyalty because this dealership has been taking care of me since I bought my car from that dealership. What happens in most cases, though? Most cases, you go back to that dealership, the same dealership you got your other car from, and they don't even remember your name. They're like, oh, this, that, and the third. And you're trying to explain, I've done business with you before. And now I got to go through this all over again. So like for myself, when I purchased my car, when I purchased my BMW, with my wife, ex-wife, purchased her car. I took her to the same dealership for her to get her BMW. I referred people to that same dealership. Yep. Now, what is the lifetime value? Yeah, what's the lifetime value of me as their customer? Well, I know personally I've given them 4 sales personally, right? So my lifetime value isn't just what I spent for my car. I literally gave them 3 more car customers, right? And
that's powerful.
All over the other stuff, going back to get this and that, and I want this in my car now, and I want that, and I go back to them to get it. All the service, my lifetime value for that car is so much more than the purchase price of that particular vehicle.
But you told the magic right there. It's nurturing that relationship, because anybody in that business of you only need me when you need me, and that goes for your lawyers, that goes for a lot of these other type of industries, that I'm here when you need me type businesses. You got to make sure that you're doing some extra special things and making sure that you're really nurturing those relationships in between the times that we do need you, or else, out of sight, out of mind. If I ain't thinking about you, I might go to the first place or the closest one to me, or whoever most convenient, or the biggest brand, whoever got the most, commercials and stuff out there.
Especially if you're price based, especially if your value is I'm the cheapest. If you're price based,
that's a race to the bottom every time. I can't do
it. Exactly. If you're price based, then it's hard. It's hard to keep business, and you're always searching for new business because your only value to them is that you save them money. And really, it's not about saving them money because they didn't have the money, because people spend for what they value. It's that they didn't value what you offer over the price that you were offering it, because a lot of times, because you led with, I'm the cheapest. This is a discount. They don't even know what you're really offering. All they know, it was cheap. And Kevin, how many times we bought stuff just because it was cheap, and it never got out. It never got out the wrapper. Never got out the wrapper, because it was like it's thrown in the closet somewhere. We just bought it because it was cheap.
Or you use it one time, throw it away, or whatever. But cheap is cheap.
Yeah.
But look, this is why we go in so much detail in these masterminds with all this type of stuff. So if you want to be a part of it, KC the Rockstar, Jeff, Mr. Marketology himself, we really, really, really we go in deep on, value pricing, really, really how to relate the value that you have, how to tell your story in social media, how to sell those products, and most importantly, how to be the rock star of your industry and make the business come to you. So if you want to take advantage of one of these masterminds, I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. It's $500 to sit in the room with us. But I promise you, you're going to learn everything that you need to know to make 2022 probably one of the best ones you never had in business. So send us an email to connect@Kevin C. Pride in the subject line Just put mastermind in the body of the email. Just tell us a little bit about your business and give us your name. And then we will follow up with you and get you scheduled for the next one coming up right here in October, right?
Yeah, coming up near the end of the month, and it's almost sold out, man. So hopefully they
I
get
can't believe
in.
how fast they're selling out, man. So
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm tired now. So
yeah, and like I say, after today with Facebook doing this and Instagram, you know, those people gonna value, because we're not talking about how to do Facebook ads and how to do Instagram ads. We're talking about how to actually be your own Facebook and Instagram and be your own brand.
Oh yeah, and make the business come to you. Until next time, we will be back right here. We got to get a set time for these. I know today was just kind of abrupt because of all the news that we got going on in our world, which is crazy. But we definitely got to get a time and date that folks can check these things out, man.
Definitely, man. Let's do that.
All right, y'all. Till next time.